Hello my friends, this is FC7, and today I'm going to do a walkthrough of the Wizard Epic 1.5 prequest. And before you start, you may want to have your fishing to 120 and research to 190. If not, that's fine. You can do that later on in the quest. And this quest, of course, is for people who do not have their Epic 1.0 but want to start their Epic 1.5. This was recorded in July of 2018, and this is on the live servers, so the current maximum level is 110, and I'm using my alt here named Taxicab to do this demonstration, this walkthrough. I actually just created him to teleport my other alts around, but I figured I'd get him his Epic 1.5 and eventually 2.0. So the quest starts here in Lavastorm Mountains, and you'll need to find an NPC named Talwyn Flamecaller, and I'm showing you the location up here. The quest is pretty straightforward. He's going to send you on a test to prove that you are worthy to be granted power from Solosec Row. So here's just some lore behind the quest. It's nothing too deep. This quest is divided into 4 parts. There's the test of intelligence, channel and research, and subtlety. Right now we're just going to tell him I am ready for the test of intelligence, and it's a quick fetch quest where you have to go to these zones and get these items. So the first zone we're going to go to is the Plane of Justice, and in the Plane of Justice I'll show you the location of the item you'll want. The first item is the Platinum Token, so we'll just go through these doors and look for the Platinum Token. Come down the hallways here. This one was a little tricky to find, but if you follow where I'm going on the screen, it should be no problem. So we'll just go through and find the item we need. And it's located right here on the map. And it's indoors to the right, so we'll just go right over here, and there's the first item right on that box. So we have our Platinum Token, and now on to the Gulf of Gunthak. This one is a little bit difficult because there are multiple spawn points. So what I'm going to do is show you on my map, so look carefully. The possible spawn points are right here. I have them marked. They're right by the shoreline between the water and the land. The item is called the Ivory Bone, so we'll just go look for it. It spawned on the beach for me by the big rock, but there's multiple spawn points, and I'll try to go through each one here. So it's pretty much a matter of luck if you don't have the exact spawn points, so you'd just be wandering the beach forever looking for this Ivory Bone. But the shipwreck up here, there's a possible spawn location in there. So right in this hull. Come out, and there's another spot under the water right in this boat, this sunken boat. So it's possible to spawn right there. Watch out for aggro from the trash on the beach. None of them gave me any trouble, but right now I'm level 105. And there are actually a pack of level 70s or 75s that might give you a little bit of trouble if you run into them, depending on your level. I don't know what quest they're about. But 1 or 2 level 70s isn't bad by itself, but there's like a ton of them packed together. So we'll just go up on the beach and look for this Ivory Bone. Sorry this is taking so long, but it's important you know the spawn locations, because this took me hours, and There's the Ivory Bone. There's where it spawned for me. Get rid of these guys quick. And on to the next spawn point. Possible spawn point. So there's another spawn point right there. And I think there's another one right around here. Yeah, right there. And once again, there are the possible spawn locations of the Ivory Bone on the beach of Gunthak. So now on to Skyfire Mountains, and what you'll want to do is go to the orbs that are in the zone. The item that you'll need is the golden dagger, and it should be right underneath the dragon orb. One of 4 possible, because I think there's 4 in the zone here. So I just picked mine up right here, right next to the NPC that I believe is the NPC for the Cleric Epic 1.0, the final fight. So if you zone in, it could also be in this area next to the dragon statue here in Skyfire. It could be in that one after porting in. And there's another one, I believe that's the entrance to VP. Right up there, you have to get up there and look at the ground right in front of the orb. And there's the last one as you port in from the over there. Maybe I should also make it clear that this is the old world Skyfire Mountains. It's not the new one. They decided to name one of the newer zones in the newest expansion Skyfire Mountains 2. Well, last year's expansion. So it gets kind of confusing. If you are not too familiar with EQ, to Skyfire Mountains. This is the old one. So on to Dagnor's Cauldron, and you'll need to find an item called the Old Pipe, and I'll show you the location. It's on the lake floor. I found mine on a pillar, which I'll show you. So just go out to the lake. And dive straight down into the water at this point. Looking for the old pipe. Right around there. So there's a location on the map. You should find it right at the entrance here to Kedge Keep. And like I said, I found mine right there on the pillar. So it looks like a pipe. And there's that. There might be a couple other spawn points, but they're all close to the entrance to Kedge Keep. So in Plane of Tranquility, you'll have to fish for the next item. And I found that I had to have a skill of at least 120 plus. So you'll have to get your fishing skills up. And here you're going to try to be fishing a worn Turban. But luckily there are fishing vendors right in the zone, and I'll show you where. Right around this corner, you can buy a fishing pole and bait right in this room. And right from this NPC. So just buy a fishing pole or 2 and buy some bait and just fish right next to the entrance to this vendor's hut. If you don't have that great of fishing skill, you can also go to your guild trainer in Plane of Knowledge or wherever and try to get your skill up a little bit that way. but it won't go beyond a certain point, so you will have to spend time fishing if you're not skilled in it. So here we are, and I got the worn Turban after a couple hours of fishing. So that is off the list now. On to the Maiden's Eye for the next item. So in the Maiden's Eye, we will be looking for the red cloth, and here we are. I'll show you the exact location. It's like in the middle of the zone in this giant fire pit. This one is pretty fun. All you have to really do with this one is zone in from Dawnshroud Peaks, then go to the Maiden's Eye. It's really quite simple. I'm not too used to being able to teleport because I don't play my wizard too often. Played a Necro for years and years, and we never had the ability to teleport. So it's kind of a nice thing when you have the ability to teleport around. So there's the location of the cape. Well, the red cloth. Yep, sorry about that. So we got the red cloth, and now it's on to the Gorge of King Xorbb. So in the Gorge, you are looking for the Emerald Tip Staff. And I'll have my map out here to show you the exact location and run to it. Here we are running to the location, and again, this is probably boring, but it's necessary because you save yourself a lot of time. Some of these were so obscure that I spent a lot of time in research trying to find the locations of these things. It wasn't easy, but that's why I'm doing this this walkthrough, so maybe it helps somebody else in the future. Here I'll summon a mount to try to get this to go a little bit quicker and get to the staff a little bit faster. I think this zone was actually in one of my videos about being one of the more obscure zones in EverQuest. Maybe I should give locations depending on the skill level of the player watching this. So, I mean, who knows where the Gorge of King Xorbb is? But I trust you to find it. So here is the location of the staff. So we have that taken care of, and the location again is right there from the zone in. So on to the next zone, which is Katta Castellum on Lukland. And in this zone, you'll have to find, let me look here, an empty jug. So just follow where I'm going directly from zone in to this tavern. And this is an easy one too, because it's simply located on one of these tables. There it goes. So that wasn't too hard. It's pretty easy stuff. We'll get that one off the list. So this one was easy, but the next one may not be as easy if you're not familiar with the zone. And I think it's another zone that made my list of obscure zones in EverQuest in my famous video, Mons Letalis. And is a trick to getting to the spire, inside the spire. So I'm going to show you how to do it. If you're not familiar with the zone, you can't just run up there. You have to take a cave to the top. And I will show you the location of the cave entrance. So apparently the item that you want is, let's see, the white sash. And the white sash, I believe it spawns at one of 4 points on the top of the spire. So there are 4 possibilities when you get to the top. Mine spawn to the northwest, so I'm going to be running that way. Should be right here. Kind of hard to see, but there we have it. Now we're on to Warsliks Woods for the last item. This item is the meditation basket. It is towards the entrance of Dagnor. I guess there are a couple of possible spawn points in the cave. So right now on the map I'm just showing you the entrance where you need to go in Warsliks Woods. So right there you'll find the cave entrance, and it's kind of hard to see, but once you get in there you can start looking for the item. So the first possible spawn point is located to your left, I believe, down this tunnel, and it's possible to spawn right there on top of that small outcropping of rocks. But where I found it was a little bit farther down, straight from the entrance, right over here. So there's the meditation basket. And now that you have all the items you need, it's back to Flamecaller. So we'll just hand in the items. Now when you hand him the items, he's going to be handing you items back, because I guess these were supposed to be done one by one, but you don't have to do it that way, because you're supposed to be solving riddles by these parchments that he's handing you back, but you don't have to worry about that. You can bypass that entirely. But what he will give you back that you need to keep is a rune. It will be the Rune of Desiccation. Well, it's the Rune of Greater Desiccation. And on to the next step of the quest. So you have one of the 4 steps done, the overall 4 steps done, and you're on to the test of channeling. So here's a little bit of the text that he will go through. You have to say, "I'm ready for the test of channeling," and move on to the next step. So the next step will take you to the Lake of Ill Omen, and I will show you on the screen, starting the test of channeling here. You have to go in the Sarnak Fort. If you're familiar with the Lake of Ill Omen from back in the day, the Sarnak Fort will probably look familiar to you. I spent a lot of time here back in the early 2000s. So what we will do is go up inside the fort, and you'll need to find a skeleton that's on the table. So we'll just go inside the fort here. So yeah, I spent a lot of time back here, like in 2002 or 2003. This fort's very familiar to me. Camped outside here a lot. Leveled up my necro. But even back then, I could never get too far back. Definitely never got back to this room. We'll just take, let's see, take this area here. And there's the NPC you need. But there's a trick to this, because you can't just cast a spell on him. You actually have to melee him, and he'll get up and start attacking you. Him and a bunch of little scorpions. So you have to actually use your melee skill. See, I can't cast on him. So I'll have to melee. And I thought I would show this a little bit more of the screen here so we can see the scorpions attacking. And you have to loot, let's see, a Cursed Talisman. One of these guys will drop the Cursed Talisman. But you can just use a beam spell and just, get all these guys at once. So that's it for the test of channeling. It's actually the easiest one of the 4. for parts of the quest. Unless you're on the progression servers, then maybe you might have trouble with this one. That's a whole lot of mobs. I guess they're level 65 about, but they have like no hit points at all. So now you're back to Flamecaller, and you hand him the Talisman, and he'll hand it back, and you're on to the next step, which is the hardest part of the quest, depending on if you can find these ruins. Because, okay, so how to explain this? You're on to the test of Research, and there are a whole bunch of ruins you need to get. You have one, but you'll need 9 more. So you need to collect 9 total ruins. 7 are droppable, and 2 are no trade. So this is the part of the quest that will probably be the hardest for you. The 7 droppable ones, I had gone to Veksar, and I got most of them. Let's just say I got most of them in Veksar, but the Rune of Synergy, I had to go to Vxed. Vxed is a zone from the Gates expansion. So I'll explain all this as I go along here. Here I am in Veksar. Okay, this is definitely the bottleneck of the quest, and what I recommend is going to the bazaar, checking it often for these 7 runes that are droppable. Search for the runes of Cascade, Flash, Glint, Impulse, Synergy, Tempest, and Vortex. Check constantly to see if they're for sale, because if they're not, you'll have to go and hunt them like I'm doing right now, and it's a real pain. This took me about a week or a week and a half to do, going to Veksar and Vex trying to get these 7 droppable runes. The Rune of Synergy was my hardest, but I did have a little bit of luck in that the Rune of Conflagration dropped for me while in Veksar from one of the mobs. Apparently that one can be difficult for people. They sometimes have to do the hard setting Eldon's adventures from the Lost Dungeons of the North expansion to get it to drop there. So Akheva ruins, this is where the Rune of Greater Conflagration drops, and it drops from Xorbb and Triss, and I'll show you the location of her from the entrance. So I have one of my alts helping me here while I run to the location. So this is from the entrance. So right now I have the 7 droppable ruins plus the 1 no drop, and I need 1 more. That'll make 9, and then I already have the 10th. So we'll just run to the location here. And this one got me a little bit confused at first because there are actually 2 mobs that almost have the same name, but their names are different by like 1 letter. And the map I was using did not list this particular mob in the zone. It just listed the other one, so I kept going to the other one. There were times during this quest I was just prepared to abandon it and try something else, but I decided to tough it out, and eventually things came together. This definitely is not an easy quest if things aren't working out in your way, in your favor. The ruin part is definitely the bottleneck. So this is the part where, this is the area where you have to make sure you're going in the right direction if you're using the same map I am, which probably you are. This mob is not listed, so we'll just run down this area and get the rune that we need. So there we go. Just loot the mob. Loot the rune we need. She's defeated thanks to my alt. And switch to having me loot, and then we'll be on to the next step, which is to get your research up to level 190 at least, because you're going to have to combine these 10 ruins. So I will just put it up on screen here. You'll need to combine all 10 of these runes. It's a level 190 trivial, no fail, and it's a good time to do the trophy quest. So my character started life as a heroic character, so I think he has level 25 in research. So the best thing to do is to do this freebie quest that will get you up to like level 54. And I won't be showing the entire quest, I'll just be showing exactly where you need to go to start the quest if your research is not very good. So this is the NPC, and then you just go through the dialogue, and she'll give you quests just to improve your skill up to, I believe, level 54. So then after you get that done, I recommend going to do the research trophy quest in Freeport, which is easy to get to. You just take the Freeport stone in Plane Knowledge, and it takes you right out to the yard. I'm sure if you've been playing a while, you'll understand how important trophies are. It's an evolving trophy that helps your research skill. It's optional, you don't have to do this part, but I recommend it. So yeah, there's the quest to get your trophy. You may as well do it now if your skill is not very good. But like I said, that's an optional part, so here we are. I finally got my skill up to at least 190, and we'll just do the combine here, all 10 of the runes. So let's hit combine, and you will get that. That is the spell electrical charge item. It has 10 charges of electrical charge, and you have to go back to Flamecaller and hand it to him, and he'll hand it back. And now you're on to the test its ability. This part is really quick and really easy. So this is the last part of the quest, and you'll need to go to Steamfont Mountains and find an NPC named Yamatwick. So you can just zone in from your guild hall to Dragonscale Hills to Steamfont, and then go down these tunnels. And the NPC is right at the end of the tunnels, outside of the cave. So just go through here, and the NPC should be right at the entrance, right there. So then you hail him, and when you say, "I'm ready," then you have to follow him to a clockwork that's on the ground. And the tricky part is waiting for him to give the signal to click the spell scroll and hit the clockwork with a spell. So he will say to follow him, and you follow him over a little bit. And I actually failed the first try because I'll show you. So he's going to run over here to this clockwork, and watch for his dialogue, because he'll tell you to hit the clockwork with a spell, and if you don't do it right away, he's going to fail you. So like I said, I didn't know how to target him at first. So he'll kneel, and then you have to target the clockwork within a few seconds, if that makes sense. So target, right click on the spell scrolls, but as you can see, I wasn't fast enough that time, so I'll start over. So I have 9 charges left. And now I will try to follow his prompts better. And I have the clockwork targeted. Don't target the NPC guy. So we'll just clear that off. Get ready to click. And that was one success. And then he'll say, alright, give it another shot, and then you click the spell again. It takes a little bit of time. But I'll go through the entire process here. And again, I have my entire UI showing just to give a better overview of how to do this. And just wait for him. When I originally was reading up on how to do this pre-quest, I thought that you had to follow him around to different clockworks, but luckily you just have one clockwork to worry about. I thought it was an escort mission, but it's not. I hate escort missions in video games. So we'll just wait a few more seconds. So there it is. Pay close attention to his dialogue, because I guess sometimes he might say something, but it's not your cue to hit the clockwork with a spell. So just make sure you're looking at the screen and the dialogue that he is offering. So there he goes, and that's about it. You are finished, and you can go back to Flamecaller and finish the quest up. So some final thoughts on this quest. In my opinion, it's a little bit overtuned for being a pre-quest. I've done 1.5 regular quests that seemed less involved than this one. All the rune collecting I felt was a little bit unnecessary, and that was pretty much a bottleneck. The research was a little bit hard as well. I can imagine this was difficult back in the day when this was current content, but I hope everybody enjoyed it nonetheless. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching.